Hello lovely people, it's time to unwind with wine. And in this episode we're going to be discussing, should I stay with my partner or husband if there is infidelity involved? It's not black and white, it depends on the circumstances and one's decision. You can have a perception on what you would do. However, if you were put in the situation, and it became your reality, stability, love and children could easily sway the decision you once had. One example of this was in Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Khloe Kardashian was advising Kourtney Kardashian if she was cheated on, she would leave. Unfortunately, the infidelity then happened to Khloe during marriage with Lamar Odom, and during her on and off relationship with Tristan Thompson, the father of her 2 children. Following Khloe's discovery of Tristan's actions, it appeared Khloe didn't immediately close the door on their relationship. Which is understandable. There are times we may assume our response to a situation, but when faced with the circumstance, you could end up having a change of heart. It's vital to know your worth and set boundaries that will enable you to decide what you are willing to accept or tolerate. If the infidelity was a one-off compared to a frequent occurrence, your position on the stance may differ. You may have a preference to have that particular person in your life as a life partner, so you might be willing to accept that flaw, in order to keep them in your life. The only downfall to that is if the spouse doesn't value you in the same way, because they were able to get away with the action or actions. People will treat you the way you allow them to. If you accept discrepancies, it could become a habit because it was accepted. Drawing a line on what you're willing to accept and what are your non-negotiables is helpful, for your spouse to understand your stance on certain topics. For some, the level infidelity would determine their stance on whether to stay or leave, i.e. if the infidelity was mental and/or physical intimacy. This topic has been discussed with me on many occasions from a man's perspective versus a woman. I've often found men are less forgiving than women if it was to occur to them. This is often due to pride and ego being the reason to not forgive to continue the relationship. C.S. Lewis once said, "A proud man is always looking down on things and people, and, of course, as long as you are looking down, you cannot see something that is above you." There is nothing worse than to lose something precious, purely as a result of your ego. Especially if your heart and intuition is saying the opposition. It's important to find out the truth on the matter. 1. Did it really happen? Or an assumption? Is this based on a rumor? Or insecurities? 2. If the answer is yes, it did happen, on what level and why? Everyone does things for different reasons, whether consciously or unconsciously. If you had a part to play in it, i.e. not being present, or showing love, and/or affection, would your decision sway on being open to work through the matter? Love is the most powerful emotion to be shared between individuals. Love is profound, intense, affecting behaviors, and creates life-changing experiences. Whilst love is such a beautiful thing, I think it's important to share it with someone that you are aligned with. The experience and ease could have a huge variance, from sharing it with someone you're merely attracted to, versus someone you are aligned with and share a deep connection. This could also distinguish whether it is love as opposed to lust. Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference from being inside of the relationship, compared to being out, having left the situation. Regardless of the decision made from the situation, you can learn a lot from it, if you're open to. Life is about the journey, experiences, and wisdom. All is well. That's it for this episode. If you have any topics to talk through, please send them over. Contact email is down below in the description. In the meantime, keep thinking with the glass half full and living your best life all day and every day.